Hello and welcome to Ryno's Orioles Report. Pretty sure this was the worst week the Orioles have played this season. They went 2-4. Not great. Now they didn't lose the series, which is good, but they did go 1-2 in both the series they played last week. There is some good news. I will get to that at the end. Start with last Monday's game at Camden Yards against the Cincinnati Reds. It's a rain delay. What was it? A total of like 2 hours or something rain delay. Yeah, I was at that game. Kind of tough sitting through that. A lot of offense by the Orioles in this one. They did win 10-3 over the Reds. Didn't get any home runs, which was, again, it is odd. But 2 doubles by Hayes and Urias. Hayes had 3 RBIs, Rutschman 2 RBIs, Urias, Mullins, Westberg, that's right. Joey Westberg, it is Joey, right? Jordan Westberg. Remember all these guys' names? They all got 1 RBI apiece. As I mentioned, Westberg, I think I mentioned this last week, was recently called up. So this game was his major league debut. First at bat was in the middle of a torrential downpour, so definitely not something he's going to forget. Not that you would forget your first major league at bat, but all that rain when you're trying to hit is, not fun. Did have a caught stealing, which not great. But at least he's not, just sitting there. He is trying to be active in the game. Now, Cole Irvin got the start in this one. It did not start off well. He did give up a few hits in the first inning, which eventually led to a run. But 3 innings pitched, which the game started, and it only went 3 innings after an initial rain delay. 3 innings, and then the rain came again. So Cole Irvin didn't come back out after the rain delay. Wasn't pitching too bad. Yes, 3 hits, 1 run. But that's not terrible. Would have liked to see him continue, because it did seem like he was having a good outing. Did get 3 strikeouts, which is nice. Bruce Zimmerman, the local kid, came in after the rain delay. Did not fare as well. 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 strikeouts. Kind of disappointing. I think we would have thought, after initially seeing Zimmerman a few years ago, that he was going to be a good pitcher, but not sure what's going on with him now. Baker, 1 inning in relief. No hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Bauman, another inning. No hits, no runs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. Cianel Perez got the 9th. 1 inning pitched, no hits, no runs, 1 walk. So, very weird being at a ballpark. You initially got like 30 minutes to an hour rain delay. Part of that is because they got to put the tarp back. They got to take the tarp out off the field, put it away, and then reset up the field. They technically had to do that 2 or 3 times. So that's where some of the added delay comes in. But it was nice to see that the Orioles came through all that inclement weather and were able to win a game. Not the case for Tuesday. There was rain in this game. Can't remember if they delayed it in the middle of the game, or I think they just delayed the start time by like an hour or two. Very little offense for the Orioles in this one. 1 run on 3 hits. And that run came, McKenna got an RBI. Henderson a double. That's it. Westberg, 2 total bases. So Westberg is up here and he's playing. He's going to get playing time. Second major league game, he went 2 for 3 with a walk. Very nice. As you can see, Rutschman over, Santander over. Henderson still down in the lineup. At this point, he has not got back to the leadoff spot since Mullins' return, even though Hayes led this one off. Hayes does have a very high batting average as far as when you compare him with other players, the majority anyway. He is hitting up over 300 average. Teo's still not doing much either. O'Hearn hasn't been doing much recently. I think potentially some of it is when he gets called up, there's not a book on him. You don't know how to pitch him as well as, somebody that's been in the league for a while. And then the league adjusts after seeing you for a while, and then now it's on you, the hitter, to make another adjustment to counter their adjustment. A bunch of moves and counter moves and all this other stuff. A couple caught stealings in this one, Mullins and O'Hearn. Seems like at one point, Orioles were stealing lots of bases and not getting caught. Now all of a sudden they're getting caught again. That has something to do with what I just talked about with O'Hearn. New pitching rules as far as how often you can throw over, increased base size. Took a while to get used to these new rules and how much the Orioles were running. Now I think the league has caught up, pun intended. So it is now up to Orioles base runners to make an adjustment to be able to not get thrown out as much. Because it does kind of hurt getting on first base and then getting thrown out instead of having somebody on first base. However, Tyler Wells got to start in this one. He went 6 innings, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. It's a great pitching performance by, the whole pitching staff last Tuesday. But offense just couldn't put any runs on the board. Aiken, nice outing for Aiken. 1 innings pitched, no hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Baker gave up a home run. Yeah, Baker gave up a home run to Friedel. And that was his 1 hit, 1 run that he gave up in his 1 inning pitched, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Perez, also another relatively clean inning. Didn't give up a hit or a run, but did walk somebody and did get a strikeout. So, just kind of baseball. Sometimes your pitching is up and your hitting is down. Sometimes your hitting is up and your pitching is down. You got to get them both clicking on all cylinders at the same time. I think this actually might have been Hicks's first day without a hit since he came over to Orioles. He did get on base with a walk, but he may have gone hitless another game. I can't remember. Lots of offense in this next game. No rain delay. But with all the offense, the game took a long time. And it went 10 innings. Nothing but getting done late last week, at least at the beginning part. Orioles lost 11-7. Okay, Cincinnati Reds came into town with their hitting shoes. They had their hitting shoes on. Mullins leading off 1 for 5. Did score a run. O'Hearn finally got another hit. Did have 1 RBI. Henderson 3 RBIs. Westberg 1 RBI. Frazier 2 RBIs. Westberg had a double. Nice first extra base hit. Henderson a triple. Frazier a home run. Gibson got to start in this one. Not his greatest outing. He has had a few, call them duds, as far as outings go. Past few games, something he's going to have to make an adjustment on. 4 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 6 runs, 1 walk. Did have 5 strikeouts though. Got to clear this up. Bauman 1 inning in relief, no hits, no runs, 2 walks, no strikeouts. Not great, but at least he didn't give up more runs. Coulon 1 inning pitched, no hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Cano, he has fallen off a little bit. He is being used a lot, so there's that. 1 1/3 inning pitched, 2 hits, 1 run, no walks, 1 strikeout. Home run was off of Aiken. Aiken gave up a home run. Okay. Batista had the 9th inning. 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. So that was typically when you're at home in a tie game, you don't use your closer in the 9th inning. Usually that's a road thing. Typically anyway. Because it's not like you're not saving anything. Or what am I trying to say? When you're on the road, you got to shut them down. Right? Because if they score, then the game's over. When you're at home, you're not at your last chance, right? So you can save your closer. But at the same time, I think Brandon Hyde understands that Batista doesn't necessarily hold runners well, and he doesn't pitch as effectively with runners on. And that's why I assume he went with Batista in the 9th. And why I'm not too upset about it. I think typically you would want to save your closer, but at the same time, you know your closer is not great with a man on second. The problem is you don't have anybody else reliable to go to, so you go to Aiken. 2/3 of an innings pitched, 3 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned runs. Yeah, there was an error. And 1 is the extra man out there. So that isn't an earned run. Did walk a guy as well, 2 strikeouts. But by then the wheels have fallen off. Zimmerman does come in to get the last out of the 10th with a strikeout. Very nice. But they bring in? This Mr. Cruz here to give up a hit, so looked like they might be able to do anything, but then 3 strikeouts. Cincinnati they have a really good bullpen. Or at least they appear to be really good because of the way they handled Orioles hitting. All right, let's go to the Minnesota series. Started Friday. Their Orioles are at home, so it's not like they could leave their bats anywhere. They're at home. All their stuff is here. Well, I don't know. Like some nights they don't want to hit, some nights they do. Minnesota Twins in town put up 8 runs against the Orioles, 1 run. Got Pitching staff gave up 13 hits. Not great. Mullins, leadoff spot. Ofer did have a walk, though. Rutschman, home run. Solo home run for the lone run. Not great at all. Santander had a hit. O'Hearn, no hits. Hayes had 2 hits. Henderson, Ofer. Urias, Ofer. Frazier, Ofer. Westberg did pinch hit late in game. Couldn't do anything with it. Ben Boom, he's back on the roster. No word on where McCann is with his rehabilitation/injury status. Ben Boom not doing much. Though he is your third string catcher. So pitching, Dean Kramer. 3 innings pitched. 7 hits, 7 runs, 2 walks. 5 strikeouts. Only got 9 outs. 5 of them were strikeouts. It's kind of odd. You strike out that many, almost 2 an inning, but yet you're giving up 7 runs. It's so weird. He did have some pitches that just kind of just stop spinning right in the middle of the zone. Like you could see a slider start to spin and then stop, and it just kind of just right in the zone, and out it goes. Sure what happened there. Zimmerman, 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run, 2 strikeouts. Yeah, Zimmerman just hasn't, whatever reason, recently has not panned out as well as we thought we were going to get from him. Vespi, nice to see Nick Vespi, one of the seldom used guys out of the bullpen. I think Aiken ended up going on the injured list with some kind of back tightness, I think. Pitched 3 innings, gave up 3 hits, but no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. So hopefully he can be used more and have more success like this. Cianal Perez pitched in the 9th inning, again in a loss, so it's not really that big a deal. Did give the 1 hit, but got 1 strikeout. No runs, no walks. So while the rest of the team didn't seem to do that well this past week, Cianal Perez and guys like Vespi, a few of them, had very nice outings out of the bullpen. Does seem like the starters are kind of the ones in a funk right now. Hopefully we can get them out of their funk. Game 2 against the Twins, Saturday game, Hawaiian shirt day. I was there, got my Hawaiian shirt, so excited. And while you show up early because you got to get your Hawaiian shirt because there's 100,000 people there, this game went 2.5 hours because there was nothing going on the whole game. 1 run scored by the Twins in the 4th, and that was it. Orioles lose 1-0. We're 7 hits by the Twins. Luckily, the pitching was able to hold them from getting more. So only 3 hits by the Orioles. Nobody worked a walk. Not great. Rutschman, Santander, Henderson with hits. Very disappointing game to be watching. Teo, yay! Teo stole the base. How about that? He pinch ran for somebody. Rutschman got his hit either in the 8th or the 9th. I can't remember which one. I think it was the 9th. Mateo in, immediately steals, almost gets thrown out. I swear he beats the throw by about this much. Oh, and of course the umpire called him out, and we had to review and get the play overturned. Because God forbid the umpires just call him safe when it looks like they arrive there at the same time. dickhead umpires. I swear it's just because they don't like the organization. And I know I sound like a conspiracy theorist like this, but think about how many ballparks have gotten another All-Star game since 93. Cleveland, yes, I know they went through a few stadium changes. It's the same stadium. Seattle, which is where it is this year, yes, name change of the stadium, but it's the same park. There was another one, and I can't think of it off the top of my head. There have been a few cities that get another All-Star game, but they have upgraded the park. New park, like Texas is coming up. It's a new ballpark. Atlanta put a new ballpark. Philly put a new ballpark. So that does kind of make sense. And it's Colorado. So Colorado, Cleveland, and forgot it already, Seattle getting a second All-Star game in between the Orioles' last one. However, I just think they don't like the organization. Because the way some of these calls go, you look at some of the commercials where they have several players speaking about one thing or another, or clips from games. How many of them are Orioles? Yeah. Bradish started this game, went 6 innings. It's very nice that he could get 6 innings in. It really is. He did go 7 hits, but those 7 hits and the 1 walk only turned into 1 run. 7 strikeouts, part of it, I think. Bauman in relief, 1 inning, 0 hits, 0 runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Coulomb in here and Cano doing their thing. Both had 1 inning pitched with no hits, no runs, no walks. Coulomb 1 strikeout, Cano 2 strikeouts. It's somewhat surprising to see Cano get multiple strikeouts in an inning. As I've said, he is more of a ground ball pitcher, but this would appear they are making some kind of adjustment with him. As I say, when you're a fairly new player, there isn't really a book on you. And then the league makes a book, and then you have to make an adjustment to keep up your success. All right, finally, they win a game. Yay. Salvage a series. This was the Sunday game yesterday. Orioles win 2-1. Still not very many hits. You can see Henderson led off this game with Mullins batting 5th. Now, of course, Henderson goes 0 for 2. But he had a walk. And I think there was a fielder's choice in here somewhere. Hicks with the RBI and Westberg with the RBI. So the 2 new guys. Well, kind of. You can see Hicks didn't start. He went in for Hayes. I guess it was Hayes' only plate appearance. Ground ball to third base. Third base made and I don't remember who the third baseman was. Oh, he's probably listed over here, isn't he? Yes, Mr. Miranda. Somewhat of a wild throw up the line towards the plate, brought the first baseman off the bag, and bam! Looked like a safety hitting a wide receiver over the middle. And that was Hayes hitting the first baseman. But, what did he leave with? Hip contusion, I think. And that's why Hayes didn't finish the game. He didn't look like, it wasn't noticeable. Like, Hayes wasn't out there noticeably limping and in pain or anything. But you did see him in between the inning when they came in. I can't remember if he went out to the field or not after that. I think he did go out and play in the field at least once. But then you notice in between the innings at one point him talking to, I believe, Richie Bancels, the head trainer, and made his way to the tunnel. And then Hicks relieved him. So hopefully it's not too serious of an injury, like I said. Or like the term they like to use in football, Hayes did leave under his own power. Oh, look at this. Anthony Bemboom got a hit. Can't say the same for Mateo. Santander stolen base. Nice. He can do everything, I swear. Cole Irvin got the start in this one. Cole Irvin. Make sure I'm not saying a G. 5 innings pitched, so it's not great, but 6 hits, also not that great. But only 1 run given up, 3 walks, which is not good, no. 6 hits and 3 walks, that's not great. 1 strikeout. And again, I gotta believe that Grayson Rodriguez can do this. You really hope that Grayson Rodriguez can work on whatever the hell it is they got him working on down there and get back up here. Because I think he can do at least this, and with some more knowledge and more experience, go more than 5 innings. Baker came in, pitched 2 innings, no hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Cionel Perez, hey, got a win. How about that? Well, that's what happens when, you pitch your inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Pitched very well this week. Very nice to see. Need some more contributors. Good quality contributors out in that bullpen. Because you got Batista here for his 22nd save. 1 inning pitched, no hits, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Very nice to see. Not a great week as far as wins go, but it did seem like a few members of the bullpen turned a corner, started producing well. Here is an article released by the Masson staff, and this is just roster moves. So it's very simple. Select the contract of right-handed pitcher Chris Valamont from AAA Norfolk. He will wear number 75. His first appearance will be his major league debut. Bruce Zimmerman, sadly, sent back down. Hopefully, he definitely looks like he could benefit from AAA experience. More control of his pitches. Hopefully. Like to see him back up here. And so you can see it's talking about the 40-man roster. To make room for Mr. Valamont on the 40-man roster, Michael Givens was transferred to the 60-day injured list. So he's not eligible to come off of that until mid-August, I think. So it's disappointing that we may not see too much of Michael Givens for the rest of the season. Not that we saw a lot of him this season at all. Here we go. This is an article written yesterday by Rock Kubatko talking about the Orioles All-Star representatives. Adley Rutschman had been battling Jonah Heim for the starting catcher spot. Sadly, Adley didn't win, though Heim's numbers, I think, are better. So, looks like Adley is the backup catcher. I expect there to be another catcher. I always assumed that they would have 3 catchers in an All-Star game, but who knows. Hayes also will be there. Not 100% sure. I think the fan voting was over, so I think this was more player and coaches voting. As you can see, Austin Hayes, Felix Bautista, and Yanier Cano will also be going to Seattle with Adley Rutschman for the All-Star game. It's not a whole lot. I mean, some of this is you want relief pitchers like Batista and Cano, who have some devastating pitches. May not see all. You'll probably see Rutschman play. Probably see Hayes play, assuming his injury isn't too severe. Batista and Cano can be kind of iffy. They usually send almost 15 pitchers to the All-Star game, so not sure if we'll see both or either of them. Just have to watch in a few weeks and see. And other news also released by Rock Kubatko today, a few hours ago. Rutschman will be participating in the Home Run Derby. Don't know how I feel about that. He does have 11. It's not like he's incapable of hitting home runs. But, as some players have said, participating in a Home Run Derby can kind of mess up your swing. Because you're going to stand there at the plate for... Some of these plate appearances, Home Run Derby, last 30 minutes. But I guess that was a long time ago, like McGuire, when he went to Boston and was just crushing them over the Green Monster. You're sitting out there and you're purposely trying to hit a home run. It can be hard to come back into a regular game and alter your swing back to normal. Hopefully it does seem like Adley Rutschman is a little bit more of a meticulous person, so he might be able to get his swing back a little better. So I'm hoping this won't affect us that much. Now let's check the standings out. Have lost a little bit of ground with the Rays. Not a whole lot. They're only 5.5 games back. They only lost 1, maybe 2 games. They did also lose a little bit of ground with the Yankees behind them, but the Orioles are still clearly in second place. Win percentage did drop below 600. And you see the wins at 49. Texas, Atlanta, and Diamondbacks clearly have more wins, so that's kind of disappointing. Did lose some ground in that. Oh, the schedule. Let's go over the schedule. If I am correct, it is the Yankee... No, we are in New York. 4-game road. Well, 7 games. 7 games on the road for the Orioles. Full week. 4 games in New York. 7 o'clock games around, except for tomorrow, July 4th. Happy Independence Day to everybody out there. 1 o'clock game tomorrow in New York. And then up to Minnesota, 8 o'clock game on Friday, 2 o'clock game on Saturday and Sunday. So hopefully some revenge games against Minnesota in their ballpark this time. Hopefully. And a chance to keep the Yankees below the Orioles in the standings. I hope that. But we'll have to see the outcome next week for my next installment of Ryno's Orioles Report. It's going to do it for this week. Be sure to like and subscribe. I am the Angry Ryno, and this is Birdland.